All right, y'all. Come on. This is Not Abuse No More with your host, Dr. and Evangelist K.O. Rich. We're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse. How y'all doing on this Friday morning? This is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, helping you to admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse. Why? Because your feelings do matter. Yes, they do. But before we go on with today's podcast, I'd like to invite you to visit us on our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. Again, this website address is www.narcabusenomore.org. And on the website, you'll find valuable information regarding narcissism, relationships, and if you have missed any of these podcasts, all you have to do is go directly to the website and listen to us from there. All right, this morning we are having a Narc Abuse No More moment. As I reminded you all on the last podcast and on this one, we were actually going to start this the 1st of July, but I believe I'm going to go ahead and be starting it now because I have so many things I'm trying to do and I'm not always able to do a full podcast. So we're going to have what we call Narc Abuse Moments. Narc Abuse Moments. And this is a shortened podcast, 15 minutes or less. And we're going to give you a power pack 15 minutes or less of information that's going to help you on your road to recovery regarding narcissistic abuse. So today we're actually talking about an emotional bully, an emotional bully and what to do about it. There are a lot of people that may not hit you physically, but they are hitting you emotionally. This one author that actually had wrote an article, and then this is where we're coming from today. We're coming from menttobehappy.com, and so the author of this particular article was talking about a girl that he once dated that would yell at him or cry or call names every time he disagreed with her, and it was over just crazy stuff. And so therefore it was an assault, not only on him, not physically, but it was an emotional assault against him, against his character, against who he was as an individual. So one thing that we know about bullies, they're not happy individuals. Bullies, they come from a lot of times broken homes, those that are dealing with addictions, alcohol. It's something within that bully that has caused them to become that way. And so they're taking it out on other people. They often deal with fear themselves while they're trying to intimidate others through fear. They have insecurities. They basically they have things that they're trying to overcompensate by and through the bullying that they do. But let me just say this, that one thing is that just because someone is dealing with issues themselves does not mean that their issues need to become your issues. If they're having problems with insecurity, that's their insecurity. That is not yours. And so therefore, you do not have to be anyone's punching bag. And when you're dealing with a bully, you're actually being their emotional punching bag. So the important thing to be is aware of what emotional bullying is. So I'm going to give you a few things about emotional bullies so that you will know the characteristics of an emotional bully. Number one, the first one is they interrupt you. You cannot actually talk about anything. You cannot express your feelings, your thoughts. They will interrupt you. They will always try to make their point, but they will never listen to you. So this person is they want to dominate the conversation. They want to dominate the disagreement. So therefore, they will interrupt you. So that's a sign of an emotional bully. Number two, they throw fits of rage. rage. You can't have a conversation without them throwing a fit or yelling or screaming, or they will not hear you. Instead of them listening to you, they're too busy trying to out talk you. So therefore, when they don't get what they want, they will throw fits of rage. And we often talk about narcissists being like a 2-year old in an adult body. Number 3, they accuse and blame you. Again, they never take responsibility for anything. So therefore, they will blame you for every single thing, and they will try to even make up things to blame you for, just so they can feel that they're justified in their actions. Number 4, sometimes they'll use the crime mechanism as a tool of manipulation when the outcome or the disagreement is not going in their favor. This is a sign of manipulation. It's a sign of bullying sometimes and emotional abuse. Number 5, they will use profanity. They will cuss. They even those that call themselves Christians will cuss or say things that are out of order in order to make their case. They will try to insult you. They will use whatever tactic they can in order to cause you to be intimidated. Number 6, they will yell and scream at you. Yell and scream at you. That means that if they can't talk in a calm manner, they will yell and scream. And the one thing about effective communication is not about yelling and screaming. It is about actually talking to a person one-on-one and trying to help both sides come to a mutual agreement. Where we at? Number 7. They will also use the kids as ammunition. Okay, they will arm the kids for battle. So therefore, many parents do this. They use the kids as ammunition or witnesses against the other person. They will use their flying monkey. So anyone that they can use, they will use. Number 8. They will tie your tongue to lengthen theirs. So basically, they will try to continue the arguing in order to keep you from being able to talk, and that's a form of abuse. You have a lot of people that love to argue. They love to be verbally combative. Where we at? Number 9. They slam doors and throw the remote control or things in the house or whatever. So basically, they throw fits of rage, and them slamming doors or throwing stuff, punching walls is still another form of emotional abuse. Number 10, they try to punish you into submission. So when they don't get what they want, then they will either do the silent treatment or they will again act as a little child. They do not want to act as an adult. Number 11, they will try to seek revenge against you, and we see this going on with a lot of narcissists. They want to be revengeful. They will try to get back at you. They will threaten to get back at you if you don't do things their way. Number 12 is what we call, again, threaten. They will come outright and try to threaten you. These are emotional bullies because they feel like if I can threaten and I can intimidate that person. Number 13. Okay, so they threaten you. So be careful about those threats, and don't take those threats lightly either, especially if they're planning or they're threatening to do any type of bodily harm to you and or someone else that you love or your pets. Number 13, they unbury the dead. So what does this mean? That means that they will go way back to try to find something that was old to bring it to the new in order to damage you or try to manipulate you or whatever the case may be. So when you're dealing with these type of emotional bullies, there's really not a lot of winning when it comes to them if you're trying to go battle toe to toe with them. They will battle at an extreme high cost. Excuse me. Number 14. thing. They do not take your feelings into consideration. They are unempathetic. It's all about them winning, all about them making sure that their position is understood, but they never take into account anything about you, and they will do anything they can to justify their behavior. Last but not least, they have preemptive anger. So if their anger gauge is always set at anger, your first response. I mean, if anger is the first thing that you do to try to manipulate an argument or a disagreement, then something is wrong with that individual. So one thing you want to do is when you are dealing with an emotional bully, accept that this is who they are. Don't try to change them. Accept that this is who they are, and therefore, more than likely than not, unless they allow God to come in, they are not going to change. Number two, is more important for us to care about the individual than winning. But when you're dealing with emotional damaged people, they care about the win more so than the person. It's okay to agree to disagree, but it's how you disagree. Last but not least, take it a step at a time. So when you're dealing with someone that's an emotional bully, don't allow them to justify their bullying. Do not become what you call trauma bonded with that particular individual. If that person does not want to change, don't make excuses. Oh, they're this way, they're that way because of their growing up and all that. Everyone has a story. The thing is, you have to be willing to acknowledge that, hey, there's something about me that needs to change. Emotional bullies, they will always try to find fault in you, but they will never look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? I am a bully. I am an emotional bully. I am a verbal abuser. I need to change. So therefore, you have to be the source of change. All right, we're up out of here. I pray that today's podcast, our narc abuse moment, was a power pack moment for you. Until next time, this is your host, Dr. K.O. Rich.